Lance Gooden. Congressman, first, I want to get your reaction to Casey's report here. And obviously, Secretary Mayorkas is now going to be coming before the committee, the House committee, and the topic is impeachment. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, he is absolutely a candidate for impeachment and a good candidate for impeachment. But what this is about is a policy decision by President Biden. You know, if we impeach and happen to remove Mayorkas, he'd be replaced with someone who's going to enforce the same policies. And that is one of come across our border. We will let you abuse the asylum process. We will let you make whatever excuse you want to make to stay in this country. And we'll, in fact, give you money and a plane ticket to go anywhere in the country you'd like. That's what we're seeing now. That's why we have hundreds of thousands over the course of just a few weeks coming across our border. It's very sad that Mayorkas refused to acknowledge that this is a crisis. This is absolutely a crisis. Democrats in Congress, at least privately, they know this is a crisis. They're very worried about what it's going to do to President Biden's reelection hopes next November. But I, as an American and a member of Congress, am just hoping that we get to the point where we can actually do something and fix this now. We don't need to wait until the next president is a Republican. We need to do this now. Our country's suffering, and this is a serious crisis.
Certainly, certainly. And, you know, obviously it's crushing the budgets of these blue cities, you know, New York, Chicago, and so forth. So obviously there's a lot of questions, and it's going to be interesting to hear him, you know, answer those questions. I do want to talk about the budget negotiations. We're just getting a report from our own Chad Pergram at Fox News, and this is coming from Mitch McConnell. And basically, Mitch McConnell is advocating for a CR to avoid a shutdown. Despite the top line agreement, basically, you know, this is Mitch McConnell. The Senate's trying to kind of jump ahead and make sure that we don't end up in another perilous budget fight with another shutdown threat. Your reaction?
Well, my reaction is that what a shame that we've come to this point. Last November, I was told after Speaker Johnson became Speaker that this would be the last time we'd be pursuing this. I was suspect then. I'm definitely suspect now. Today, on Tuesday, today's our first day back, that the U.S. House is all back in Washington. They're flying in as you and I speak. And so we'll all be together tonight, and we'll be talking about what's going to happen. There's a conference meeting tomorrow among Republicans where I suspect we'll really make our thoughts known. But I think it's very difficult for Republicans, conservatives like myself, to go back to my district and say that I support continuing to fund a government that Nancy Pelosi put together over a year ago in exchange for nothing. We're not getting anything for this. There's no action at the border. We're just being asked to vote to continue spending as it is. And I think that's going to be a really tough sell among House conservatives.
Well, the criticism that's come from some of your colleagues is that in particular with the funding going to the border, that throwing more money isn't the fix here. It's you need a policy fix.
That's right. The Biden administration,
right?
That's right. They like to say we're refusing to send more money. The Biden administration does not want more money to enforce security. They want more money to deal with the influx. And that's not something we want. We want to stop the influx. We want to say remain in Mexico. Don't abuse the asylum process. Let's stop encouraging this mass immigration. And that is going to be stopped with a policy change. It has absolutely nothing to do with money.
Real quick before you go, sir, I do want to ask you about this. This is some breaking news. We're just now learning, and this is a statement from Walter Reed Medical Center about the health of Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. Basically, he was being treated for prostate cancer. They're saying that it was detected early. His prognosis is excellent, but there's been a lot of, questions and a lot of controversy about the fact that Austin and the Pentagon didn't notify the White House, did not notify President Biden that he was back in the ER. Real quick before you go, your thoughts on this, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks here in Washington in politics and the government that are dealing with cancer. All he had to do is be straight with the American people. I suspect he'll have to answer for that. There's a lot of information I don't know. As you said, we're just learning. But at the end of the day, if I put together a list of all the offenses of cabinet members, Secretary Austin not telling me he was in the hospital a few days actually doesn't make the top. I'm frustrated with security at the border. I want to know what happened and to be ensured that this is not going to happen again and that he's honest with the American people. But at the end of the day, people are worried about the border. They're worried about real issues. And this is just another list of screw-ups by this administration.
Well, and I will say, obviously, our thoughts do go out to Secretary Austin and his diagnosis.
I understand his desire for privacy, but we sacrifice a lot of those privacy rights, unfortunately, when you join the government. And I do wish him well. I suspect he could be forgiven for this temporary screw-up. Unlike other members of the cabinet, he actually admitted that he should have done a better job, and I do appreciate that. That seems to be a rare thing in this town.
Congressman Gooden, we are certainly looking forward to the rest of the week and your committee and everything else that's going to be happening in the House. A lot to go through. Sir, thank you very
Big week.
much.
Thank
All
you.
right.